Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and to some more Battle Brothers. Sadly, in episode 2 of the series, the company met a rather unfortunate end when I foolishly decided to try and beat some undead when I, in fact, should have retreated. So, yeah. This time, it's not gonna happen, hopefully. With all that being said, however, it is time to start a new campaign and delve right back into the world of Battle Brothers. I have installed a few mods since then. These aren't any insanely game-changing mods, they're just more some simple quality of life ones. And I will link or list them all in the description of the video if you are interested to see what they are. And if at some point you feel like they might be too much or too game-changing, then I can definitely uninstall them. It's easy as that. But without further ado, let's get into a new campaign. So, we played the Gladiators. Excuse me, I did the Gladiators origin last time, but this time I think I will play with the Northern Raiders, which came out with the previous DLC of the Warriors of the North. So, this is considered a 2-skull, so it's medium difficulty if I had to say. Alright, so for all your adult life, you've been raiding and pillaging in these lands. But with the local peasantry poor as mice, you may want to finally expand into the profitable field of mercenary work. That is, if your potential employers are willing to forgive your past transgressions. So, Warband. Start with 3 experienced barbarians. Pillagers. You have a higher chance to get any items from slain enemies as loot. And Outlaws. Start with bad relations to most human factions. So Pillagers is really nice because there's a chance. So something I didn't explain actually is that the durability of an item determines the chance that you get it post combat. So something that has, let's say, 100% durability, something that's untouched, you have a much higher chance of getting it than something that, let's say, is 5% durability. This will make it so you're just gonna get those low durability items a lot more frequent, and just probably a guarantee that you get the high durability items. So it's really nice, and it can synergize pretty well with some of the retinue members. So Northern Raiders, very nice. Okay, and I want to take this banner because it definitely is got that northern feel to it, and I will be the Sons of Carl, and I'm going to choose the Holy War as my late game crisis because I still have yet to see it off camera and or on camera, and hopefully this run will make it long enough to actually see a late game crisis. Alright, we'll do veteran, medium, and I will try Iron Man on this run. So Iron Man mode disables manual saving, and only a single save will exist for the company, and automatically saved during the game and on exiting it. Losing the whole company means losing the save. Yeah. So it's just going to make it a bit harder. Unexplored map, of course, and I will not change the map seed because I don't really care to. I'm not playing this to try to get the best start, I just want to get right into it. So I'm hoping that this save at least lasts a few more episodes than the other one. Hopefully lasting being my only save for the foreseeable future, but as I know, and as you the viewer will come to know, this game can be relentless. So the Northern Raiders. After you and your party killed half of them, the villagers finally submitted. A white flag was raised, and they offered parley, which you were happy to grant. In a single line, they walked to the town square where they had been holding a festival. Jewels and treasures filled their arms, and they dumped the goods where you stood, boot atop the smashed skull of their mare. Your vanguard of Eric? I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced. We're just gonna call him Eirik. Brand the Slayer and Asberg. Oh, excuse me. Brand the Slayer, Asberg, and Guder kept careful watch of the ceremony like buzzards watching a slow death. The last in line was a monk. He had no gold or silver on him, but instead spoke to you, his words immediately drawing the weapons of your fellow raiders. You allowed him to speak, and he spoke at length about the old gods and how the treasures of the heavens superseded all of that which Terra could offer. You told him his death was written by that wagging chin of his, and the monk pursed his lips. Alright, then if you want gold, depart these silly games, this raiding and pillaging. It is all worthless compared to the treasures of the south. The nobles won't have you in their armies, but they are forever in need of mercenaries and rarely have the time or luxury of choosing where these hired fighters come from. You'd make all the crowns you'd ever want. Come south, raiders, and be sublimated. Yep, sublimated into sellswords. Asberg demands the monk's head, but you stay the execution. Instead, you take the crafty monk at his word. You've long heard of southern riches and the travels of adventurous swords for hire. You decide to venture south, so as long as the monk comes with. Asberg protests, but you won't have it. If this pale little shit of a monk is your lucky charm to a new life, then it would be an affront to the old gods to leave him be. The raider storms off, but Eirik, Brand the Slayer, and Guder have no qualms about following you. The rest of the war party returns north, a split of the loot being made. What remains of the village is left behind to recover, rebuild, and make new goods for stronger tribes to come and take for themselves. We'll strike out south. Yes, we will. So, before I look at our brothers, I'm going to pull up my factions and relations because, as we saw, outlaws, we start with really bad relations with most humans. As you can see, I am hostile across the board for anything that has to do with House Harrowinger. I am threatening relations with House Haydn, and House Bartholin is neutral with me, and of course the city-states. So the south, as said in the text just now, is the perfect opportunity to do. And we have a dreaded reputation and unreliable at minus 50 renown, so I definitely have my work cut out for me. Alright, so we got Eirik, Brand the Slayer, and Guder. Eirik is cocky, unfortunately, so while he gets a nice little boost to his morale resolve, he takes a rather nasty hit to melee defense and range defense. Yeah, as we can see, he's starting at 0. Oh, they also all start at level 3, which is nice. And he also has Fenrir the Warhound. Brand the Slayer has nothing special about him. And Guder has Quick, so he gets 10 extra initiative. And he is disloyal, unfortunately. So not the best start. I'll take it. We get some okay gear. So, it's not the worst. Alright, that. I'll need to first level everybody up. And we'll do student and gifted. Very nice. Same thing here. Student and gifted. Yes, very good. And one more time. What's nice is all these guys have really good starting HP. So as long as I take Colossus and a few levels here and there for HP. They will be quite tanky. Alright, so our barbarians are all set, and of course this is the monk that they spoke of. Emmerich, he is a night owl, so he gets +1 vision during nighttime, and unlike Guder, Emmerich is loyal. And he has no stars except 3 in Resolve. So he has the potential to become a really good sergeant late game. Or not even late game, early mid game. So I'm just going to give him some bandages, which you can use to patch up our brothers during combat if need be. And let's see, I always start with the Fangshire because I have the supporters edition for the game, so for the time being this is sort of worthless. I mean, it is a 60 helmet, so we could exchange it for somebody, but nah. And let's see, we have some smoked ham, some goat cheese, and some silverware, and a silver bowl. 1,000 crowns, 50 provisions as we just saw, 20 tools and supplies, 20 ammunition, and 20 medical supplies. Cool. Well, I need to make the long trek down now, but I need to be very, very careful about traveling. Okay, so I am actually going to show off one of the new mods I have installed, which is just a sight range multiplier. There's a 3 times variant and a 2 times variant. I feel like 3 times might be a little much, so I went with the 2 times instead. And what it does is just it lets you see twice as far as you could have guessed. So if I go up on this mountain, you can see a huge chunk of the map is uncovered. It's going to make it a lot easier to find locations on the map and just make it a lot better, in my opinion. Because in the vanilla game without this mod, I always felt like it was a bit too small of a sight range. I know that I can't see anything here because I don't have the renown for it yet, but I know that the lookout, I believe the lookout, has an increased sight range ability that comes with them, but it takes a bit of time to get that, and I'd much rather just use my mod to deal with that instead. So yeah, I have quite the journey ahead of me, but what's nice is if I ever come across any rather weak caravans from either House Haydn or excuse me, Parawinger, I can raid them. I really don't want to have to fight 6 Brigand Raiders to start. All I care to do is make it down south and start my life anew. But it seems like these guys are going to chase me relentlessly. Okay, the mountain's slowing down, luckily. Man, these guys are determined to get me. And of course, I want the one way that has a massive mountain range. Yeah, I cannot take that supply caravan. I will get absolutely annihilated because of the noble house units. Oh, I stopped moving for a second. Almost there. Yeah. So, speaking of locations, this game has what they call legendary locations scattered throughout the world. I forget exactly how many are off the top of my head, but the watermill is one of them. A small watermill with a stony house at its side. It looks like someone might be living here. So let's go see what's up with this legendary location. As you approach, the watermill totters at the hinges as its buckets dip and draw water. Attached to its side is a stone-walled adobe with a chimney piping bulbs of black. There are pelts and traps hanging outside on the walls, and an oaken chair sits on the porch. Its windows are too blurry to look through, but you can hear the mill inside rising and churning with wooden groans. Drawing your sword, you step up to the porch and open the door. A man welcomes you in the first and only room there is. He's standing beside the mill well, running his hands through the grains. He is an elderly fellow, yet of modest stature, as though time had no warrant for his posture or abilities. There is a sword hilt hanging above the fireplace. Its glint is unmistakably rich, and the old man regards your stare with a warm smile. Only those who are worthy may have the hilt of the reproach of the gods. You, stranger, are not. This old man ain't stopping me. What would make me worthy? What would make me worthy? The old man stares into the mill. His hand rises up, and a swarm of grain revolves around his fingertips like bees around the buds of sugarcane. My only son departed to slay the great beast. His squire returned the hilt to me, but the blade was gone. Avenge my son, and you shall be worthy yet, stranger. You ask where the beast is, and the man puts his mouth in the millwork again. If only I knew. I trust you will find out, sellsword. Your feet suddenly slide back across the floor and into the porch and onto the grass. The door slams in front of you, and you won't be opened again. Seems you've unwittingly taken up a quest, or perhaps one to keep on the side. We'll have to resolve it ourselves. Okay. During camp, you feel good today, ready to lead the sons of Karl through any challenge to come. You gather the men around, kicking Gooter to his feet and telling Emmerich to finish scraping away the hairs on his neck later. When their muttering has subsided, you start to address them. What do you tell the men the company will do? We need allies, forging a bond, I'm not going to read through all these. So I've actually never tried to do this one. So I'm going to take the ambition to raid for trade or supply caravans along the road. I think it seems rather fitting, given that we are playing some northern raiders, and excuse me. So quickly circling back to the watermill. I already know what the Great Beast is, since I played this game for a lot of hours, but I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't. Okay, it's 6-on-3, and I have a feeling things are not going to go well for me for some reason. I need to release Fenrir, just so it makes it a little more even. And I need to deal with this guy immediately. Oh, very good, Fenrir. Killed him. There's really not much we can do with Emmerich. Yep, and looks like Brand... Well, he only got struck down, luckily. Nice. Okay, this guy is gonna hopefully die right now. And... I'll push up this way a bit. Okay, so what's nice about axes, at least one-handed ones, I don't think I've really used them too much in this series, is that if you hit somebody on the head with it, it will deal an additional 50% damage on top of the normal modifier. So you can do a lot of damage with a one-handed axe hitting somebody on the head. Okay, he's fleeing from me. The one guy I cared about. And what kind of weapon? I got an axe hammer. So it's a mix of a hammer and an axe, obviously. So we can use the split shield ability of an axe and a batter, which is more or less a hammer ability. I'm not going to bother to chase down that raider. And Brand is already suffering from a weakened heart. And as you can see, I got a lot of good loot from this fight. Got a nice hand axe and a pike, which means Emmerich can actually be of use to me. So yeah, he gets really poor rolls. So we'll give him melee skill, fatigue, and obviously resolve. He can get student like everybody. Let's give him this pike, and I'll give him this rugged surcoat. So we have a 90 chest piece, 92, 95. Gooter doesn't need it since he's already doing pretty decent. He's 105 and 95. 50, 65, 75. Actually, let's swap because Eric will get the most benefit from this. And we'll just swap this out and set this to be repaired. So hopefully I will be... Okay, perfect. So I finally made it to a safe spot. So let's start visiting all these lovely settlements and begin our life as mercenaries. Okay, another mod I got is a settlement tooltip. So normally you'd see the icon and it would, you can mouse over it and you can see, oh, it's a good harvest, and just give you a little brief description, and that's all. The mod I have now tells you what it actually does. So as you can see, a good harvest means that there's 100% more food for sale, and they're buying and selling food for 50% less. So I can come here and I can buy some wine and mead on the cheap, which I definitely think I'll do. Now with 800 crowns left, I would like to get a ranged brother, but none of these guys are really that great. Let's see. Negotiations. Baltimore of Cargau. Cargau is reading one of many scrolls. He angrily tosses it into a pile of others. The people of Cargau are rightfully furious. Do you know a brigand, possibly in league with other vagabonds, managed to steal my rare coin collection from us? That artifact is of immeasurable value to me and to the people, of course. You shrug. And you want me to go get it back for you? Sorry about that. The man points a finger. Precisely. Smart sellsword. That is exactly what I want you to do. Follow the footprints of the thievery and return to me the item which I, the town, rightfully owns. And was it worth it to you? 240? Sure. So, I know we're probably going to be rereading some stuff from the previous campaign, but I just want to read everything once like I was before, and if I come across something that I've already read, then I can just skip over it. Southwest. Okay, this is where I need to head. And my plan is, once I've gotten some more brothers, hang on. As you approach, you catch a group of brigands lugging your employer's property around. They seem shocked that you have found them here, and no time is wasted trying to parley. They take arm themselves, and you order the sons of Carl to charge. Anyways, as I was saying, once I get a few more brothers, I'll probably head back more north and start raiding some caravans. So we're gonna wait, and then gonna push forward now. Oh, that was very nice. I'm really annoyed that I already have somebody with a permanent injury, especially one of my starting brothers. I have 2 broken noses. Oh, well, there goes Fenrir, sadly. We'll have to find another dog. So, with a cleaver, we can use decapitate, and the less HP the person has, the more damage it does. So since he was basically already dead, the chance of decapitating him was much higher. After the battle. The battle is done, and the rare coin collection was easy to find amongst the corpses of your enemies. You should probably return it to Baltimore of Cargill for your just reward. Alright, let's collect our pay, but first, let's do some gear changing. Okay. And just like that, Emmerich is not terrible, but obviously he isn't amazing. Continue going for melee skill, fatigue, and melee defense. And I'm going to take Colossus, jump up to 80 HP, which is really nice. I'm going to take 1 level up in HP here. 66, get Colossus as well, 82. Nice. And unfortunately Brand is going to fall a bit behind because he was struck down in our first fight. Yeah, so when I want to go raid caravans, we'll have to go into this portion of the map, but that's not going to be for some time. On your return, Baltimore of Cargill is resting his legs on 2 dogs, each one passed out on top of the other. These beasts could rip my throat out, yet look at them. How does that happen? I didn't even train them. Someone else did. I'm a stranger to them, yet there they are. You place the artifact on the man's table and slide it across. He leans forward, takes it, then places it under his desk. When his hand returns, he's got a satchel in his hand. He tosses it over. As promised, good work, sellsword. You gained 240 crowns, and yes, these crowns were well deserved. Alright, since there's no more work here, it's time to leave, but I just want to take a moment to really appreciate the art when you're in a settlement. It's very, very beautiful. It just looks really nice, so. And it's really cool to see how the different size settlements look, especially in the back. So small village, yeah, so another small village. So this one's gonna look the same in Seagao. Yep, looks exactly the same. Still looks nice. Alright, negotiations. You find Hadibrand of Seagao talking to a group of peasants. Seeing you, he quiets them all down. Shush, low lot of you. This man here can solve our problem. The townsmen take you aside. Sellsword, we have a bit of a problem. There's a relic I need finding. Some such thing by the name of Finger Bone of Sir Gerhard. I don't really give a good old god's damn about it, but these people worship it for spring rains and winter shelter. Naturally, it's gone missing. And for whatever reason, folks think it's gone off to a place by the name of Cavern of the Dead all on its own. Nobody will go there, but you will, yes? For the right price, of course. Sounds simple enough, what's the pay? He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is good payment for the task. You'll be paid 310 crowns when the contract is done. Sure, I'll accept this. Oh, going right down here. Well, this is literally a mirror town. So the Fletcher here. Okay, let's see. None of these guys are good at range. 34, yeah. I mean, I guess I'll take him to start. And yeah, I'll just give him a hood. I'm holding off to selling my silverware and silver bowl until I reach a large city, because I'll find much better prices there than I will in this small little village. Oh, he already has a hood. I wasn't paying attention. 75 for -8 or 55 for -6. I'll start with the 55. Oh, I need the Fangshire. I don't even know why I bought the hood. Actually, I'm going to give one to Emmerich. I think it looks a bit nicer. What I will do while I'm here is just sell some stuff. Sell the flail. I can sell 2 hatchets. I'll keep the hand axe. Sell the bucklers. And obviously the leather wraps. They have dye here if I'm interested. Maybe. It is rather expensive though, and I don't have that much money. Alright, so Cavern of the Dead. A long forgotten crypt haunted by the ghosts of the past. The dead won't find sleep here. It's an unknown garrison. Oh boy. At Cavern of the Dead. You venture into the ruins with Raymond at your side. The fingerbone of Sir Gerhard is easy enough to find, if not a little too easy, but something else catches your attention altogether. There are pots strewn all across the stone floor. Each piece of pottery is a reservoir of 4 spears, and shields hang against the walls on hooks that seem far too ancient and rusted to hold up a cobweb much less a piece of metal. Suddenly, Raymond grabs your arm. Sir, trouble. He points down the halls and you see a man standing there. His movements janky and quick, as though he were breaking into his suit of armor. Suddenly, his head snaps up and stares at you. Despite the fact that he's standing so far away... Just give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. I didn't want to cough into the mic. Okay, yeah, so despite the fact that he's standing so far away, his voice carries as though he were speaking right next to you. The false king dare trespass here? The empire will rise again, but first you must die. Sorry, I don't know what's up with my throat. I just tried to clear it, but it doesn't want to be cleared. These are fighting words, no doubt, and you grab the sellsword and make a quick escape. You don't get far outside before the mercenaries take up arms without your ordering so. Excuse me. Following behind you is a formation of soldiers in armor you've never seen before. They step forward in a formation like a turtle shell, clasped together with their shields held up to provide protection for the whole unit. Based on the fellow in the ruins, you've no doubt they have come to kill you and the rest of the company. Alright, to arms we go. And some ancient auxiliaries. Alright, luckily enough we're only fighting 4. So I'm just gonna wait and have them come to me, of course. It's usually the best strategy early on, and there's really no point trying to even well, my best bet is to shoot one of these two. I mean, it's 20% across the board. However, as a skeleton, ranged weapons, especially in arrows, aren't going to be all that effective against them. As you can see, they have resistance against ranged weapons. So I will take my chances with these two, who have a teeny bit of armor, and hope that landing a shot, or hope that I can land a shot to chip away at it before they engage in melee combat with me. And not even close, on 94. What's nice is 2 out of my 3 frontliners, Eirik and Guder, have really good weapons that against armor. This is usually what ancient undead will do. Very nice. Yeah, so we hit him for 17, but no damage against the actual HP, and had a chance of 5 to hit, and we rolled the 4. It's pretty good. I'm gonna have to wait with Emmerich. And Brand will move up. Tried to go for the decapitation. Sometimes, even if they're at full HP, decapitation can do quite a hefty amount of damage. Okay, well, that was easy enough, unlike with the gladiators. Very nice, got a 95 helmet, as well as some crowns, a broken ancient sword, and some shields. After the battle is over and the finger bone of Sir Gerhard obtained. You tell the men to prepare for a return to Hadibrand of Saigao. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Seagao? I'm gonna say Seagao from now on. You're not entirely sure who or what just attacked you, but right now it's time to get paid. Let's head back. But before we head back, I just need to grant a level. And we'll do gifted, get a +3 to melee and 4 for fatigue and resolve. And I'm gonna run back. Oh, actually, going to replace Irik's helmet, and I really like having him with double grip. I feel like he has 10 melee defense, so it's not amazing, but he's just been shredding people with double grip for the time being. So I'm not gonna do anything to him yet. I'll give Brand the bear headpiece because it's a bit better. Same fatigue penalty for 5 extra durability, which means I can replace Emric headband for the full leather cap now. Let's see. So I'm actually going to set this rugged surcoat to be repaired, as well as this hand axe, which means just while I'm traveling, I will be using some tools and supplies to repair them back up to max full durability. On your return, you find Hadibrand of Seagow sitting in the town square, his arms up to the skies, his eyes closed, his mouth murmuring prayers. The townsfolk are all around him, kneeling and doing the same. You pick up a rock and hurl at a weather vane, the clank and rustic spines drawing everyone's attention. You hold the relic up so all can see. Hadibrand of Seagow jumps to his feet and takes the fingerbone of Sir Gerhard. Gerhardt. The people roar with delight, speaking of good things to come. Your payment is handed to you, which truly is what you would consider a good thing. You gain 310 crowns, and Seagow now has high spirits. The townsfolk seem to be in a good spirit now. So high spirits is buying items for 5% more, selling items for 5% left, and they have 10% more items for sale. So what I'm thinking is we're gonna sell this, sell, I'm gonna sell all these shields. I'm gonna buy one set of dyes, sell my silverware actually, and buy the other one because I can make a larger profit off the dyes than I can off one piece of silverware. And that's all I'll be doing here. Check the Fletcher. So here we have some famed throwing axes, the infamous Widowmakers. They look pretty solid. I don't remember exactly how good this is, because with famed items, there is always... the durability's always changed, and then I believe 2 other stats are changed, or modified rather, and for these ones I don't exactly recall off the top of my head because I didn't really use throwing weapons too much until my most recent good save, but they look cool and I'm sure they are good. But enough of that. Yeah, so high spirits does give a chance for increasing, or it gives a chance for famed items to spawn in the appropriate town buildings like a Fletcher, or if they had an armor or weaponsmith, there'd be a chance to find some famed items in there as well. So, with that contract out of the way, what I would like to do is I'm going to pop up onto these mountains real quick, get a good overview of the lands around me. This is only a small fortification, so I don't really care to go here just yet. What I would like to do before I wrap up this episode is to find a keep, citadel, or large city. Long Dagger's Cave. While this would be really nice to raid, I have no capabilities of doing so. A few thugs, those brigand marksmen will gun us down, and those raiders are definitely nothing to scoff at this early on. A few serpents, interesting. They're rather up north. I'm surprised to see serpents this in this part of the world. Some nomads as well, interesting. Okay, so I still need 2 tools and supplies, but that's not for anything that my men have equipped, that's just for the hand axe and the rugged surcoat. I'll fight some nomads, maybe get some nice loot from them that I can sell. I guess I'm getting close enough to the desert. Dry steppe and regular steppe. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm gonna have them come to me, obviously. There's no need for me to mindlessly charge into them. Okay, let's push up with everybody now. 21, 5, 24, 35. Again, might as well shoot the guys that are closest to me. Nice. Alright, of course, the good old pocket sand. A nomad's favorite. Okay, I want to get rid of this guy because he can stun. And I can only take 1 shot since I moved, and he missed. So I have 77 on either guy. So let's hope we can get a decapitation here. Very nice. And we want this guy out of the way. He's fleeing, so there's no point in attacking him. Instead, I need to start focusing on this cutthroat instead. Emmerich will hopefully finish off this guy. Raymond, 20% chance. His turn is done, so there's no point in attacking him, so I should go for this guy. Also, another reason why I haven't put any shields on any of my brothers is because I'm playing as barbarians, and I've never really known barbarians to be ones that like to use shields. I think it makes more sense to just have them dual grip their weapons and just unleash hell upon the enemies in a barrage of insane damage. So, yeah. There's some other reasoning, but I'm sure as I get into the later game, I will consider swapping that up. But I don't need to worry about that anytime soon. Right, so the enemy retreats. It is over. I'm not going to chase him because it's worthless. Nice. Got some rice, got a hefty sum of crowns, a bunch of just good tools, and some weapons that I can sell. Okay, Raymond has leveled up. Yeah, his rolls aren't amazing. I really don't know what I want to give him. I don't really have plans of taking this guy to the end because his stats are really whatever. I guess I'll just give him some melee attack, so he can at least try to land stuns more often. Okay, Brand here, finally, has caught up with the rest. He has 70 attack. The problem is his weakened heart really messes up my plans for him. That what, minus 30, right? Yeah, that minus 30% to HP is rather unpleasant. So what I think I need to do is, he has 70. Obviously, I want to pump more into it. Yeah, so I'm actually going to go melee skill, I'll roll into hit points, and fatigue. I'll forego one thing of melee defense for now. Jumps up to 46, and with Colossus, 57. Yeah, he needs to be a little more tanky. Or if anything, I'm just gonna have to swap over to a one-handed weapon and shield combo. But we'll see. Along the road, your company seems to have caught the attention of a messenger on the road. Ah, a sellsword without a role in this world? Woe is ye. Well, Rothstad, not too far from here, has got something for you. I suggest you get onto it. Thanking the courier, you check your maps to see if it's worth the trip. Paid work, you say? Well, I have no idea where Rothstad is. Hopefully it is this town or city. Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is what a city looks like. You can see it's a lot more developed, the background's different. Well, obviously the background isn't different because we're in the same terrain, but I meant the buildings. And once again, it just looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, here we got a barber, a Fletcher, a tavern, and a temple. Solid. And this is a ceremonial season. This is new with Blazing Desert. And they're buying and selling incense for 50% more. See. What's unfortunate is that they have 2 dye makers here. So as you can see, they produce quite a lot of dye. So I can't sell it here, but I can sell my silver bowl for almost 100 more crowns than it's worth. So I'm definitely going to do that, as well as sell some spears. I'll keep this. I'll keep the mace. I'm going to get rid of the flail, and I'll keep 2 pieces of armor. And I'm just going to see what these contracts are. These aren't going. These are rather easy, but I might consider doing these before I wrap things up for today. Okay, negotiations. Hellfreak the merchant looks at some of his books, pursuing what appeared to be a good deal of numbers. Oh, perusing, not pursuing. Sorry. Perusing what appeared to be a good deal of numbers. I got a shipment of particular goods going to Hellenfest, and they're leaving soon. I need a bunch of sturdy swordsmen to help make sure it gets there safely. It should take you about a day of traveling. Are you up for it? Stock money. Rest assured that what I'm offering you is a fine prize for your work. You'll get 180 crowns when the contract is done. Escort the caravan to Hellenfest, about a day to the east. Provisions are provided as always, 180. I'll need some time to think about this one. I just want to see what's up with this one. You walk around Rothstad before stopping a man and asking him if there's anything interesting around. He balances a smelly and dripping pitchfork on his shoulder as he thinks. Well, there's the Whoers. The man grins, mostly to himself on that one. They alright. There's also Ulf the Wise. Wait, are you that sellsword feller? The stranger squints at you, then quickly continues. Ah shit, of course. Yeah, Ulf the Wise talked about you. He said, Guido, go and clear out the shit in the horse stalls, and if you see that mercenary people are talking of, fetch him for me. He stops and points down the road toward a building. So yeah, if you want some money, then that fella in there wants to pay you. I don't think he needs another man slinging shit. If you was worried about that, I got that shit under lock. I'm all ears. You find Ulf the Wise closing a box. He quickly glances up as though he's been caught with his pants down. Sellsword, thank you for coming. He locks the latches with a few quick snaps, then he pats the crate a few times, even leans on it as though it needed one more fat latch. This here cargo has to be delivered safely to Seagow. A man by the name of Karsten of Seagow is waiting for it. I do not believe the task will be easy, as the cargo is rather precious to certain people who'd go to great lengths to acquire it, which is why I'm turning to a man of your experiences. Are you interested in doing this for me? How many crowns are we talking? He opens the palm of his hand. I'm tight on crowns, so before you ask, this is all I have right now. You are to receive 130 crowns when the contract is done. Okay. So I'm actually going to do this one quickly. One, because it's not a very far trip, and what I will consider doing is I'm going to complete this one. I'm going to run back here quickly, and if the escort for the caravan is still available, I will do that for one last thing. At Seagow, finally you've made it. Karsten of Seagow is standing there in the middle of the road, his hands clasped over his stomach, a slick grin on his cheeky face. Sellsword, I was not sure you'd make it. You look the cargo up and hand it over. Oh yeah? And why do you say that? The man takes the box and hands it off to a robed man who quickly hurries away with it tucked under an arm. Karsten of Seagow laughs as he hands you a satchel of crowns. The roads are rough these days, are they not? Excuse me. You understand he's making small talk. Anything to get your attention off the cargo you just handed over. Whatever. You got your pay. That's good enough for you. Yes, it is. You gain 130 crowns. Crowns well deserved. There is a contract there, but I don't want to do it just yet. So, like I said, I'm going to quickly run back, see if I can still do the escort, and make my way here. Yes, I can. Very nice. And yeah, it's rather expensive, but I'm going to buy two more dies. Accept this, and hope that Hellenfest, which I'm assuming is right over here, is going to be a citadel or keep where I can try to make a decent profit off the dies from Rothstead as well as Seagow. So there's a stone watchtower there, so yeah, the town definitely, or the settlement definitely has to be close by. Yes, perfect. And here we go. At Hellenfest. Hellenfest greets you with a swarm of day tailors looking for work. The caravan leader doles out crowns to the men here and there. Their grubby hands go to cars to unload the cargo. When he's finished with the throngs of men, the leader turns to you. He's got a satchel in hand. And this is for you, mercenary. You take it. A few of the day tailors watch the exchange of monies like cats would a dangling mouse. You gain 180 crowns, and Hellenfest is well supplied. Okay, it's a bit weird way of wording it, but whatever. Right, crowns well deserved, and yes, this is in fact a citadel. Yeah, this is what citadels look like. Very cool. So, well supplied is buying and selling for 10% less and 15% more items for sale. They have an armor, a Fletcher, training hall, and tavern here. So let's just take a quick look, see. Oh, perfect. So another mod that I installed is the company Tabard mod. So these are armor attachments, which we can attach to armor, which will give various effects, similar to this and this. So a company Tabard will give plus 10 durability and will increase the resolve of the wearer by 5. So it's pretty good, and they look really cool. They're a bit expensive for me right now, so I'm going to hold off. Just want to see. We got Captain's Feathered Helm. Yeah, it's a nice looking famed helmet, but I can't get it because it costs 16,000 gold. And let's just see if the Fletcher has anything. No. That being said, I won't sell these two because I'm going to sell them for a loss. However, I can sell the two that I got in Seagal for quite a nice profit. So 1, 2, 1,200 crowns. I need to buy some tools. I'll buy some goat cheese and some beer for the fellas. And there's a lot of gear here. So this might be a good place to look for some more brothers. But that being said, it is time to wrap up this episode because it is reaching the hour mark very shortly. So, thank you everybody for watching the first episode of the new campaign. I think it's already going a bit smoother than my Gladiator start did, and I'm really excited to continue this one. The plan for the next episode obviously is to continue exploring the southern region, doing contracts, and hopefully finding a bunch of locations similar to Lone Dagger's Cave or even the Soulbinder Sanctum that I can clear and get some really nice loot in. But also, and I want to try to work on getting my ambition complete. But that is all next time. So, have a great morning, afternoon, night, wherever you're watching. Once again, I really appreciate you watching. And if you'd like to see more of my content, I do have a Twitch channel where I tend to stream Monday through Friday during the night for a couple hours at most. And currently I am between playing Heroes of Might and Magic 3 and doing another Battle Brothers save, which the Crimson Knights right here. So if you're interested, definitely do check it out. But if not, I hope that I will see you in the next video, be it Caesar or Battle Brothers. So I'm gonna wrap it up now. Take care.